Hey there, TX Game Changer here. So this is how I work. This is how I get my guys up to speed. So thank you very much for sending us the info. First observation here. Fantastic that you got Mortarmen as your first level of defense. A few more of them would be absolutely fantastic. I'd recommend get as many Mortarmen as you can in there. I mean, you don't want too many initially. So you see how you're spawning after 6 seconds. So if you've got 5 in there, that'll be 8 seconds. Then another 5. It'll be another 8 seconds. And then obviously some more after that, several seconds after that. If you see here though, you've got 6 seconds before your first Mortarmen come out, which is fine, but then another 28 seconds after that before anything else comes out, which is going to be way too long. You'll be destroyed by then. And same here with your helicopters. So for me, you probably want 1, 2 and 3 if you've got enough, or at least 1, 1 and 1, because they need to be coming out fairly quickly. 56 seconds, chances are it's game over by then. And I think there's the, if you look on here again, you've got 24 seconds before anything even happens, 36 seconds before something happens after that, and 14 seconds after that. And I think S13s for me as well is quite weak. I'd maybe put some tanks in there or something along that sort of line. I know they're easily baited, but until you get to some sort of Humvees, then obviously you know you're going to be knackered. I think this Humvee IVF as well, that's something you really need to look at in this event if you can. If you can get that, I'll start to show you how to use it, and your attack is going to be vastly improved, because at the moment you are attacking with a system of heavily tank orientation. Then the S13's following that, and then you're obviously using your Mortarmen. So in essence, your attack will be quite slow, and you probably haven't got your head around probably what they call a continuous fire method, which I'll send you some videos separately on that. So we'll pick that up for you. Now going into your base here. Now, first observation here, any of your troops that come out of these barracks, first of all, are just going to wander off, because these walls here should touch. So every single wall should touch really tightly, like these 3 and these 4 here. So nothing can probably escape out the back here, but they'll all escape out the front. So if I'm sat over here, I'll just wait for the troops to come to me, and I'll just finish them off dead easy. And that's the same with your vehicles as well. So when they do escape, obviously what's going to happen is, again, I'll pick them off. So ultimately you've got no defence. Now the other thing here, straight away I've got a spawn point. So I bet within seconds, if you watch your replay videos, within seconds your war factory is taken out. It wouldn't even surprise me. I mean, if I was clever enough, what I would do here, I'd launch a set of Humvees from this side with 1 tank covering, a set of obviously Humvees from this side with 1 tank covering, and basically you know I've took your base out within seconds. So what you want to be doing is having a base where all your walls touch. Now if I come out and I'm just going to go into my base, for example, just to show you another way of sort of thinking about things, and this should start to help you. So bear with me 1 second. Now there's lots and lots of different ways of doing bases. I've got several blueprints, so if you want some sort of ideas, I'll send you those over. But the first thing first is any vehicles that I've got, any troops that I've got are naturally going to be trapped within inside these walls. They can't escape, which means you're going to have to come to me to kill them rather than me coming to you. So that's the first thing I want you to get out of that. The second, none of my barracks, war factory, my obviously chopper base, if you will, none of that stuff is close to a spawn area, so that basically you know, you're gonna have to again come into my base to take them out. Now if you notice how everything's spread out here, what that does, and you'll know this if you've attacked people, is it means that you're gonna have to spawn over here somewhere, or you're gonna have to spawn over here somewhere, but certainly not right in your base like I can spawn on you. So that's why your defense is weaker at the moment, because they're just taking you out. It's too easy. So I need you to start having a little look at this, and I'll send you a link to all my videos so you can see how other bases have been assessed, so you're not on your own on what you've done. So this is a base I've set up today. It's modelled on one that I've seen before. That's probably holding some really good defence. Now what I'm trying to do is basically I want 2 flak at maximum level, so I can take aircraft down dead easy. I want to have my turret here, if you notice, protects these turrets here. This turret protects every turret there. That there's protecting majority of everything. So I mean, basically, if you're attacking that one, then these are going to start picking you up. Now the other thing I've got about 20 mortarmen in various sort of stages of coming out. So every after 8 seconds, mortarmen are there, and they act like another howitzer. It really is quite effective. I've got mines here protecting, so I'm trying to force people to come in from this direction, and then basically they're going to try and take that out because it looks weak, but then this is going to start hitting them, that's going to start hitting them, that's going to start hitting them, the mortarman is going to start hitting them, and then I've got vehicles here with machine guns, that's going to start hitting you, so you'll get quite a bit of a problem. Now I'm going to go up to level 35 in the next week, so by then I will get yet another turret and another transformer, so I can start by having a little bit more defense, possibly firing this way and things like that. And I've got a little bit of maybe a dead zone from here. I mean, I know this will pick you up, but there's an area there I maybe need to cover a little bit more, and as things get progressively harder, I might even bring in a third flak, which you'd need for T4 and things along that sort of line. So what I want you to get out of this is I need you to bring all your walls together. I want you to think about how this salvo here is powered up by this transformer. These 2 guns are powered up by that transformer, which increases the speed of an attack. Flak, you don't need so much transformering, although if you can, fantastic. But if you've got 1 transformer, that's going to give this salvo here 60% more fire rate. If I put 2 salvos next to it, they'll get 30% each. So that's kind of what I'm aiming at. I want you to start having to think about getting your base well spread out like this. I mean, bloody hell, copy off mine if you want. I mean, I haven't got a problem with that, or I'll send you others. But, I just want you to start having to think, because at the moment, I reckon I could probably take your base out, absolutely no bother, and your figure suggests that might be happening. I also want you to have a look at your replays as well. If you look here, for example, I click on that, and then I click on, say, a replay. You need to do this every time you win, every time you lose. I want you to look at your replay and you can see how they're attacking, because what will happen is you get to see what goes on, what they did, what they didn't do. And you can learn what's working. I mean, that there, I've obviously lost my me barracks, which is not great because that's where all my main guys are. But I've probably got enough firepower for everything else as well as. So watch that. You'll see how people are attacking you. You can then see how you can defend differently and what you can learn from it. But you never stop learning on this game. Next thing I want you to also look at as well is I want you to make sure that every single turret has the maximum firepower on it. So if I go into this turret here and press turret upgrade, you can see everything on there is maxed out to full power on everything. I mean, I'm mindful of obviously how much XP I'm spending, so I'm going to be monitoring that with you, because obviously if you upgrade too much you start running out of XP. We definitely need to get you onto CC level 6, because that'll massively help you as well, get even stronger. But that's kind of what I want you to start working on. But I tell you what, I want you to get these Humvees in this event if you can. So this breakout here, if you have a little look at your rewards. Now I'm hoping because I've already got them, I'm hoping that somewhere down the bottom here, for 15,000 you should get the IFV Humvee. Now where that's important is you can start building Humvees, and these ones are a little bit more aggressive, but they've also got troops inside, so if the Humvee gets destroyed, then obviously machine gunners of whatever level machine gunner you've got come out. But you can build them for 100,000 quid each, which I know is a lot of money, but at the moment you're having to build them with crits. Now I've used my crits to actually upgrade them, so now I've obviously got level 10 Humvees. You can also obviously do this one here. If you look, 10,000 points, it's going to give you 400 Humvee crits. But use them for upgrading, because if you can get them to 8s, 9s and 10s, they're very, very effective. So that is your mission for now. We'll review it going forward, and we'll go from there. But I'm here to help. Alright, thanks.